Hey, it's Hopper. I'm here in Huskywood and I'm wrapping a cable. This is what we do a lot here in Huskywood, is we wrap up cables after we're done using them. And learning how to wrap a cable the right way is very important, because these are the lifeblood of all the projects we work on. So what's the right way? What's the wrong way? Well, let's start with the wrong way. What a lot of people do when they wrap a cable is they grab a cable and they start wrapping it around their arm like this, like a crazy person, or they grab and they go around their fist and they make an even smaller loop, and both of those are wrong. Don't do that. Do not wrap our cables that way. When you wrap it that way, you're adding half of a twist every time you go around, and it will cause a major problem in a tangle. And you think, well, that's okay, you can untangle it, we'll just undo the thing. But what happens is, after being wound over and over and over like that, the internal wire in this cable itself starts to take on that twist, and you cannot get all those tangly knots out of it later on down the road. So let's learn how to prevent that from happening in the first place. The way you prevent it is to do a under-over winding technique. So I'm going to start like this. You start with the hand that is your less dominant hand. So for me, I'm right-handed, so I'm holding it in my left hand, and I have the cable going away from my body, hanging outside of my hand. Step is to grab a length of cable, about the width of my shoulders, and I'm just going to bring them back and lay that in my hand and create a loop. And so what's important about that loop is it should be a full loop. It should not be the head of the cable and the tail of the cable coming out the same end of your hand like this, like I don't know what you would call that. It's not a loop. A loop goes all the way around. So you want the head of the cable going away from you and the tail of the cable coming towards your body, just like that. And it looks like this in your hand. For every other part of this technique, we do one loop, and then we hold our hand palm side up for the second one, for the alternating under loop. Extend it out to be about the width of your shoulders. And then you rotate your wrist. So what you're doing is you're taking your thumb that's pointed away from you and turning your thumb towards you. And this is just the action. You're just rotating your wrist. You're not even moving the cable around. You're just rotating your wrist. And then when you're in this position, you can lay that cable in your hand, and it shows that is now a loop just like the other. But it's different than the other. See, this time the tail exits out underneath, in between two of the wraps. A regular wrap allows the tail of the cable to extend without holding up or out being in between two wraps. The underside is what provides that balance. So by alternating every other, we are now putting an equal amount of positive twists and negative twists into the cable, into the wrapping process, and it preserves the life of the cable. It makes sure that when you need it, it's there for you, it's not tangled, and you're able to toss it out and use it with no kinks.